What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Thursday, February 3rd, 2022, and I have an important weather alert to share with you guys. So, if you're not aware, there's a huge winter storm that's going to be impacting like the entire eastern United States, basically, and the Midwest. So, what you're looking at here is a map from the National Weather Service showing all of the weather watches and warnings. And you can see this huge area of pink, and this represents all the areas that are under winter storm warnings. Okay, so you have pretty much all of Texas either under a winter storm warning or a winter weather advisory. You have New Mexico, most of the higher elevation areas under winter storm warnings. You could see Oklahoma, pretty much all of Oklahoma under winter storm warnings. You have Arkansas, almost the entire state of Arkansas is under a winter storm warning. You have an ice storm warning to worry about if you're in western Kentucky and western Tennessee along the Mississippi River. There's an ice storm warning over there. And then you have Ohio, the entire state of Ohio is under a winter storm warning. You have most of Missouri, okay, southeastern Kansas, most of Illinois, most of Indiana, southern Michigan, most of Pennsylvania, and pretty much all of New England and upstate New York under winter storm warnings and winter weather advisories. Now, these winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings could be expanded tomorrow. So some of these areas like New York City, these coastal areas here, Long Island, parts of Pennsylvania that aren't under winter storm warnings yet could go into a winter storm warning. Parts of Virginia, West Virginia could go into a winter storm warning. So just because you're not in the shaded area doesn't mean that you're not potentially going to get anything. It's just that the storm is not close enough yet. All right. So I want to just share the latest information, but winter storm warnings generally mean around 6 inches plus snow, wind speeds of 25 miles per hour or greater, low visibility, less than a quarter of a mile. That's usually what winter storm warnings mean. And I might have some of that wrong. I'm just trying to generalize. I think it's actually, a half a mile or less for winter storm warnings. I think a quarter of a mile or less visibility is a blizzard. So I might have gotten some of those numbers mixed up, but 6 inches of snow is usually considered the minimum for a winter storm warning, and anything below 6 inches gets a winter weather advisory. So any of these areas shaded in pink, you could expect a minimum of 6 inches of snow. Some areas could get a foot or more, especially upstate New York, northern New England, Vermont, those traditional heavy snow areas, the Green Mountains, the White Mountains in Maine, Adirondacks, those areas are going to get dumped on with snow. But for most of the area here in the Midwest and in the upper South, you're looking at, 6 to 12 inches, lots of ice. So make sure you're prepared. There's already reports of power outages in parts of North Texas and bare shelves. People have been panic buying. So, make sure you have everything you need. I've done videos on winter survival. I'll leave a link at the top of this video to my winter survival playlist, but I always recommend everybody have an alternate heat source in case the power goes out to their house or their primary heating system fails for whatever reason, whether it's propane, oil, electric, gas, whatever. You want to have some kind of alternate heat source. I usually recommend a combination of wood stove and propane heaters. Propane heaters are the best for a short-term outage because you can turn that propane heater on and get instant heat. And all you need is maybe 2 or 3 barbecue-sized propane tanks, the 20-gallon propane tanks. You just need some of those, and some of the buddy heaters or some of the shop heaters that you can attach to that propane tank, and you crank that thing on, and you can heat your house for a couple days until the power comes back. Now, for a long-term outage, SHTF or long-term grid down situation in the winter, I always recommend a wood stove. And you don't have to put in a big permanent wood stove that weighs 800 pounds. You can just get a camping stove for like $200, and you can buy like 2 or 3 of them and spread them out throughout your house and run the pipe out the window. And I'll do a video showing you guys how to do that. And I think that's a great option for people that don't want to put in, a wood stove, but they want to have something in case the power goes out for a long period of time. Or for renters, if you're a renter and you have a long-term power failure, and you don't have a fireplace or wood stove or whatever, having a portable camp stove is really critical, because you can set that thing up in any part of your house and move it around to heat different areas. And all you got to do is just run the pipe out the window and you're good to go. And I'll do a video on my setup and how to do that. Also, you want to definitely have sleeping bags for everybody in your house. You want to have lanterns. You want to have a food supply. All the traditional prepping items. Good outerwear is essential. Warm boots, wool socks, proper headwear. If you live in a very cold area where there's a lot of wind and extremely cold temperatures, you want to think about covering your face and having some kind of a face mask. I have the wool face masks that completely cover my whole face. So if it's very cold and windy, I don't have to worry about getting frostbite on my nose or something like that. But wool socks, mitts. Mitts are essential in my opinion. Traction devices. Snowshoes are great if you live in areas that have deep snow. But traction devices are essential. Catula microspikes is what I recommend. Crampons are great if you live in a rural area. So think about all those things, guys. And I want to just continue with the forecast here and give you the latest information that I have. And right now it is 1:30 a.m. in Pennsylvania. Ice storm warning remains in effect from 6 p.m. this evening through 6 a.m. Friday. And this is for the Paducah, Kentucky area. Now, Paducah, Kentucky actually has a uranium enrichment facility, and it's a nuclear target. It's a primary first strike nuclear target. So significant icing expected. Total snow and sleet accumulations of up to 2 inches. And ice accumulations of 0.3 to 3/4 of an inch. Okay, 3/4 of an inch of ice possible, guys. Do you know how much ice that is? That is just insane. And then on top of that, you're going to have winds gusting as high as 35 miles per hour. So if that much ice is not enough, you're going to have the wind, and all the weight of the ice is going to cause trees to crack. You're going to have whole trees are going to break and split in half. You're going to have branches coming down. You're going to have power lines, coming down. So this is basically all of southwest Indiana, all of western Kentucky, New Madrid, where the fault zone is, and Mississippi counties in southeastern Missouri, Massac, Johnson, Pope, Hardin, and Gallatin counties in southeast Illinois. From 6 p.m. Thursday, that's today, to 6 a.m. Friday. Expect power outages and tree damage due to ice. Travel could be impossible. Okay. Wind gusts of 25 to 35 miles per hour on Thursday could damage ice-laden trees and power lines. So significant icing, guys. Okay. Western Tennessee, same thing. Memphis area. So make sure you're prepared. If you're in that area, make sure you're prepared for a major power outage. Now here we're looking at North Dakota is going to get some dangerously cold wind chills. They're talking about wind chills as low as 50 below zero. in parts of western and central North Dakota through noon on Thursday. Dangerously cold wind chills could cause frostbite on exposed skin in as little as 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, that is absolutely insane. All right, minus 50 wind chills, and this includes Minot, Bismarck, a bunch of areas here. Okay, so if you're in North Dakota, I mean, I'm sure you're used to this weather, but be careful if you're going out. Stay in actually in that kind of weather. Don't go out unless you really have to do something critical. Don't even think about driving anywhere, because you get stuck on the road with those kind of winds. You're asking for a lot of trouble. Here we have a winter storm warning for North Texas through 6 p.m. Central Time Thursday. Freezing rain and sleet will transition to snow overnight. Total snow and sleet accumulations of 2 to 5 inches. Ice accumulations of 1/10 to 2/10 of an inch. So that's almost up to a quarter of an inch of ice. So that's a good amount of ice. Wind chills will be as low as 5 below zero. Travel will be hazardous. Hazardous travel conditions will impact the Thursday morning and evening commute. Power outages and tree damage will be possible due to ice. Okay, so several inches of snow in Texas, ice. Here's the latest radar image. Okay, and here you can see that Texas is really getting pounded right now, and it's moving up towards Oklahoma and Arkansas area here, in the tri-borders region where Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Texas meet. And you could see these heavy bands of precipitation here. So just a massive storm, guys. You have millions and millions of people, in winter storm conditions right now, and next 48 hours. So this could be a pretty serious situation when you consider how many people are here. You got Dallas. Dallas is very, very crowded, lots of people. Texas in general has lots and lots of people, a lot of big cities there. This storm is going to just ravage all these big cities here in the Midwest and the Upper South: Memphis, Nashville, Louisville, St. Louis, Cincinnati, Columbus, Cleveland, Indianapolis, Pittsburgh. All these areas are just going to get, ravaged by the storm. Several inches of snow, ice. Just look at the size of this storm. This thing is a monster. And I told you guys last year, if you will go back and watch my videos from spring of 2021, I warned you guys that this winter would be pretty bad, that there would be some cold air outbreaks and some, storms. And the reason why is we're in a double La Nina right now. And when you have a double La Nina, that favors these types of situations here, okay? Also, we're in the beginnings of a grand solar minimum. We don't know if that's going to have much of an effect on the climate just yet, because we just entered the grand solar minimum, so we have to wait and see if it's going to cause global cooling. But in the past, the last grand solar minimum was the Maunder minimum, and that caused the Little Ice Age, which was 200 years between the 1400s and the 1600s. It was so cold that in Britain, the River Thames, which is the river that goes through London, would freeze solid every single winter. And they would have what's known as frost fairs. They would have flea markets on the ice of the river, because it would freeze so solid that they could have those frost fairs. I mean, could you imagine that in London? I don't think that river ever freezes now. And that was the result of the Maunder minimum, which was a 200-year period of reduced solar activity. We could be entering something similar to that, not as extreme, but something similar in the next 20 to 30 years. So, make sure you have your winter prep squared away, and your winter survival skills squared away. I'm going to do some videos on winter survival. I've done a few already. It's looking pretty crazy, guys. And what I want to do is I want to show you the current snow depth, okay, the current snow pack for the United States, and then I want to show you the forecasted snowpack for Sunday, and you'll see a huge change. Okay, so this is the current snow depth for the Midwest and Upper South. All right, you can see here there's some areas of North Texas already have 4 inches or so. Some of these light blue areas represent 4 to 8 inches actually. But you'll see a huge difference when I go out to Sunday. Okay, so this is what it looks like right now. Okay, February 3rd. This is the current snow depth for the entire United States. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you what it's going to look like on Sunday. Okay, and so actually this is February 5th. So let's go to February 6th and let's see what's going to happen on February 6th. So you can see just a lot more snow. All right, look at the Northeast here. You have pretty much all of Maine with 16 to 20 inches or more. Some areas even 30 to 40 inches. These areas of pink in parts of Maine. Look at New Hampshire, Vermont, the Adirondacks. You have areas of 16 to 30 inches of snow here. Northwestern Pennsylvania, you got 16 to 20 inches in a lot of areas here. Look at the Midwest and the Upper South. You're looking at 8 to 12 inches in a lot of areas here. Look at this. And now let's just go back to what it is now. You could see the difference between what it is now to what they're forecasting 2 days from now. Okay, huge difference. Look at the Northeast in 2 days, how much snow there's going to be, and look at how much snow there is now. Huge difference. Now, I want to just play this video for you guys of people panic buying from North Texas here.
Cleaning out the shelves. Damon Fernandez is live in Duncanville to show us a bit of what's in short supply.
Hey there, Chris. It's been a pretty busy day in and around grocery stores like this one back here in Duncanville as people across North Texas rush to prepare for whatever this winter storm has in store. It's the threat of inconvenient weather.
I'm just excited.
That's sparking mixed emotions and some long lines at grocery stores.
Look at these lines, guys. This is insane.
Many families are rushing out to find a few essentials to hold them over for a few days.
And it's crazy because everybody's stocking up.
At one store in
Look at this.
People are finding produce shelves cleaned out, packages of ground beef picked over. If
Wow.
you're banking on getting biscuits, they're gone too.
All the shelves are empty.
Neighbors are describing stores as a madhouse on social media, some sharing photos of similar scenes at a grocery store not too far away in DeSoto, where they say aisles for bread, water, and meat are also bare.
Because of last year, people are pretty much afraid, so they want to stock up on food in case the power goes out.
Across town in Pleasant Grove, demand for groceries was also high at community food pantries like Inspired Vision Compassion Center on Wednesday.
I just got 20 rolling racks of bread. I've got some eggs I'm about to pull out of the cooler. I've got some other stuff. I have things that grocery stores don't have.
Dr. Tejan White and her team say they're well-stocked here right now with essential items and snacks for families. Workers say they understand why it's partly fear driving demand before this winter storm.
So many people went without for so long last year, and this is so foreign to us as Texans.
So get this, some of our viewers are telling us that they're finding that grocery delivery services aren't coming out because they're also dealing with supply and demand issues. Also, we're learning that many stores across the area are closing up early so that their employees can get home before things get too bad out here.
So there you have it, guys. Panic buying already happening. They're talking about power outages already occurring. They're saying 20,000 people without power already. As of 11:40 p.m. Wednesday, there were nearly 20,000 customers without power. In Dallas, 3,700. In Denton, you had 5. In Collin, almost 9,000. In Toronto, you had almost 1,000 power outages. So it's probably going to get worse overnight. And the governor of Texas, Abbott, he said that no one can guarantee that there won't be power outages during the winter storm. Okay. So if you're in Texas, make sure you're prepared. I'm going to be doing some more winter survival videos, but check out my winter survival playlist. I'll leave a link at the top of this video so you can check that out. I have some good informative videos on there. But we remember what happened last year when hundreds of people died during that polar vortex. You don't want to end up like that. We saw what happened a month ago in Virginia on I-95. So, learn some basic skills on winter survival, have some basic gear. But that's pretty much it, guys. I'll keep you updated on this storm. Take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere.